Hello, everyone. Welcome to Page Turners. They Were Not My Star Wars podcast. I'm your intrepid host, Brennan the Mystical Lar, and this is a momentous occasion. Today is the official beginning of Season 8 of Page Turners. They Were Not. And joining me on this episode of The Guest, or I should say The Guests Awaken, two gentlemen who I could not think of anyone better to help bring in this season with. They are my dear friends, the host of fellow podcast, the Bombadcast, the ones and only Scotty and Gerry. Hello, gentlemen.
Honored.
Brennan, my friend, thank you for
Honored.
having us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for agreeing.
Of course.
All right. And my apologies up front to everyone about that we are the ones kicking it off, man. Oh, my goodness.
No.
No.
I'm the
Momentous.
opposite. You're welcome to everyone that's kicked
right,
off.
See,
Scotty's
very...
Captain Nita.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. No. Absolutely. You guys are the best people I could think of.
Oh, I appreciate that, bud.
Thank
we
you,
love
thank
you.
you. That's exactly what I was fishing for.
Yeah, that's what we needed. Ego boost.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for, Brennan. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And those of you listening who are not aware of what the Bombadcast is,
God bless your heart.
do yourself a favor, go check it out. It's hard for me to explain what goes on over there.
It's special, though. I mean, it's
interesting over there. It sure does.
Like,
we just had a great episode about why the Nemoidians are awesome.
Yep. And what they represent, we're not trying to put dumb corporate beings on the very top of our list of being awesome people. We also exploited the fact that they're kind of stupid too.
Not awesome in their motives as characters. Awesome in the fact that they are just weird lizard bug people who just, I don't know, are very...
Again, you come before us, Your Highness.
Yeah, exactly.
Fairly, they have a fairly problematic nature in and of themselves, just in their existence, and it's just great. It's just great.
The evil corporate overlords. Who ever heard of such a thing?
Yeah.
What?
Never. Not at all. May it never be. Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a great episode. And this week, of course, well, we got to talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
Big surprise this morning.
Oh, no.
The Mandalorian Grogu teaser. Yay.
God,
woo.
I have to ask, though, was that an enemy? Was that an enemy in the water?
I sure hope it is.
If it's not him, it's Naman, obviously. But it's the first. If you watch my reaction video, that's the first thing. That's the only thing that made me freak out. Like, Amon.
I know. I had to watch this, so I was watching this on a break at work and everything. So I couldn't be as free with my thoughts and everything because I was I was in the middle of my lab and stuff like that.
Thankfully, it's not a not safe for work trailer.
Yes, yeah.
Right. No, it's not. No, this was actually very safe for work.
Yes.
Which is I think a bold move by Disney. Actually,
Run of the Hutt returns.
Unreal.
Yes.
As the kids say, swole.
Yes, he is swole.
Oh,
He's jacked.
He is ripped, that guy.
He's been drinking his protein powder, for sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hopefully no one, hopefully he beats up people who call him Punky Muffin.
I hope we get one drop of it. Because, you guys
he's going to punky their muffin if they do, though,
On the poster, they showed the twins. So, maybe the twins, give him a hard time. They're come here, Punky Muffin. You never know. They might be, throwing him, giving him a hard time,
This is on the poster with our buddy, or is that Garza Borelius?
That was awesome, too. God, that was
Zeb
awesome.
returns, yay!
God, that was good. I also really like the Anzellans. A lot of more Anzellans in this.
Oh, yes.
That was nice,
Good shot, baby.
Well, that's the thing I love about this trailer in particular. And, look, Berna and I talked before we started recording. I loved Andor. I thought Andor was great. But, I felt like Andor had no whimsy. It had no goofy energy, no creatures, very little if there was any. And this was like the complete opposite. Nothing but
Yeah.
whimsical. It's dramatic in a different sense. The music is way more epic. I was like, man, this is the first taste of an era that I've missed,
And did you notice the Razor Crest? The Razor Crest.
It's yellow. It's got some yellow paint
Yes.
on it.
And of course, Sigourney Weaver.
Oh,
Yay!
Oh yeah.
great.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. So pretty.
And
Love
that was so
Sigourney and
funny
everything.
that bit there when Grogu's force pulling the candy.
Yes. So great. Grabs it,
Yeah,
pulls it
but
back.
I mean, who else to get one of the legends of sci-fi than Sigourney Weaver?
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
Well, like, how do you get butts and seats? Not to be this guy, but like your two main characters are kind of just like one's a masked character and one's a puppet. So like who else can you throw in there to keep like someone go, "Oh, is that Sigourney Weaver in a Star Wars? That's so awesome." She's in like an
Yeah.
X-Wing outfit, like it'll be enough for people to be like, "No way." And the one thing that no one's talking about is the big droids in that hut area.
oh
Oh
yeah,
no,
those
that
are
was like
cool.
one of my favorite parts, man. It's just like they pulled out all of the goofy pulpy stops
Yes.
for this, and I love that. I mean, and even down right to the poster they released that was like Gone with the Wind meets Indiana Jones,
Yes.
which was
Yes.
incredible.
Except you don't Sigourney Weaver wearing that Scarlett O'Hara dress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That would have made it even more Gone with the Wind.
right.
But
I'm One thing I want to say
Roughly,
too about the trailer is it was a minute and 30 seconds of stuff we haven't seen except for that AT-AT falling, which was
yes,
nice because
yes.
I was at Celebration in Japan. I did not attend D23, but it was the same sizzle reel for both those events. So and we had
Right.
always seen the leaks. We saw all the stuff of Din going through the AT-AT with blasting, shooting everybody up. But we finally got
Scotty,
some
we
different.
haven't seen that because it hasn't been officially released.
That's true, but I mean
Wink,
it's been
wink,
leaked.
nod, nod.
It's
Wink, wink.
link.
Well, then, of course, we got some
I saw it.
pictures from Starfighter.
Oh yes. The Starfighter stuff has been
Oh yeah.
Ryan
awesome.
Gosling in the water.
Very unexpected from that. I like that they're kind of playing with that now
Oh no,
because
it's a retelling of Waterworld with Kevin Costner.
hey, that'd be sick. I would be about that.
Honestly, I'm there for it. I'm there
Yeah.
for it. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, but Ryan Gosling in Star Wars. I mean, come on, that's awesome.
And that's another one.
Yeah.
That's like another one that gets people's butts in seats. You know what I mean? Like people that normally wouldn't go see a Star Wars, like, is that Ryan Gosling in a Star Wars? That's awesome. Let's go see
I'm
that.
gonna go watch
I'm
it.
just kidding.
Mhm. I'm just kidding.
So that's an exciting week as far as news. Um, one thing I'll just mention it really quick, and then we'll move on. Is the unfortunate situation. Right, some people are not very happy with Disney right now because of the decision to fire Jimmy Kimmel over some things.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, the news came out today that his firing has been rescinded, that his show will continue. I'm very glad about this because it did cast a bit of the shadow over the Mandalorian Grogu teaser.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully, now that everything's cleared up, we can move forward and not need to maybe let some of those hard feelings go. Now, I still believe that it was a mistake.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a weird past couple of weeks too, just in terms
That
of
it was not the right move. It was a denial of free speech.
Mm-hmm.
But he did not say anything to be dismissive of this horrible tragedy.
Mhm.
Because, to be clear, I just want everyone listening to know how I stand on this. I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I didn't really care about what he had to say.
Mhm.
I thought he gave someone of a bad name to Christians like myself. No one deserves to die like that. That is horrendous.
Mhm.
And just to be clear, Kimmel did not say anything disparaging of the murder of this man.
No.
So I just want everyone listening to be clear. I am against violence, and I'm also for free speech, and I'm glad that the protesting that's gone on the last few days paid off.
Mm.
With Disney deciding to reinstate Jimmy Kimmel to his show.
Well, it's crucial to realize that, you know, what we saw was a absolute like just instant reaction to like what Kimmel said. You know, like it was Disney, oh my God, bury it. And then it was
Well,
Donald
not even
Trump.
Disney,
And it,
the FCC.
yeah,
You
I was gonna say,
know,
Yes.
yeah,
I was gonna say
yeah,
like it was everyone's freaking out about it, which
right.
I mean, it's just there. Everyone should handle these moments and give it a day, you know. But it was like within 12 hours, just absolute panic as to what do we do? What do we do? Oh, I would cancel a show, you know. And uh, that's not the way to handle anything. If I'm going to be honest, that's everything in life, you know. You got to have at least a day to contemplate and think about it, you know. And
Mm.
I it did affect Disney heavily from what we've been reading, you know, on social media and people that work for the company. Like it was internally a nightmare these past, you know, 3
Something
days.
like they lost $1 billion plus
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? They lost a ton of subscribers as
in
well
like
on Disney
two
Plus.
Yeah.
days. 2 days.
I mean, it was a silly decision, and they didn't think it through, and it's going to affect this trailer. Hopefully, it doesn't affect the legacy of this movie. But I was seeing people on the internet like it's going to be the next Solo. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna. They have the May release. It's like the last day of school for people. You know, like
It's
uh,
It's
it,
a cr-
it's getting a lot of I saw a lot of hate and stuff like that, you know, and the Mandalorian kind of gets a lot of hate and stuff like that, you know. I mean, it is what it is.
even though, in my opinion, season 3 was the best season of The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I love that season.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
I don't know, you know, it's a little disheartening. Again, we don't have to like all the same things and everything like that, but I mean, just some of the you see some of the comments and it's like, you know, oh, this is for idiots,
Oh my God.
essentially,
Oh
and
gosh.
stuff like that. I mean, it's just like it is what it is and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, I mean, I don't know, like I enjoy Andor. I enjoy this. I enjoy it all. You know, the beauty of Star Wars is it is a tapestry with which you can tell multiple different styles and types of stories, and I love that about it. And so I don't know. Anyway, honestly, you this is a free country for now, so you should be able to say whatever you want to say about Mando and Grogu. So there we go. There's my
Yeah.
piece, and you can say your piece as well, and hopefully we can still live in peace. So
Yes. Yes. And that's about all we really want to say about this particular situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
So, one thing I got to do 3 weeks ago that I should mention is visit Rancho Obi-Wan in Petaluma, California.
Oh,
Jealous.
And those of you listening who don't know, it's the largest Star Wars merchandise collection in the world.
God, that's awesome.
And so I have lots of pictures. I will eventually get them posted. But I got to do that, and that was cool. Except there was one thing missing. I did not see a single Martha Lump figurine.
Incredible.
Travesty. Travesty.
Excellently, like we support, we stand Martha Lump.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best.
And
Truly.
those old
I know.
insane Pepsi commercials they used to do.
The best.
All right, so as I
Marshall
mentioned
Love
up
gone
top,
too soon.
this is the launch of season 8 of Page Turners They Were Not. To say that a lot has happened in the last 8 years is an understatement. As far as Star Wars, so this podcast began August of 2018. Star Wars Rebels had ended,
Oh man.
Solo had come out, Solo had underperformed, as we know, but we love that movie. Mm. Love that movie. I mean, I don't want to speak to you guys, but I love that movie.
Oh, Solo's one of my favorite movies ever. Like, it's a
It's a
great
lot of
movie.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And hopefully, box office wise, Mandalorian Grogu fares a little bit better.
I think it will.
So we have that. So my podcast again in August 2018. I'll tell you why. I really began this podcast because I was upset at the way people were acting about Solo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame you.
And I wanted to kind of give a little bit of my own pushback against that. And because you may recall at the time, not everyone was liking Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Yeah.
Um, and so, but because that came out before this podcast started, we're not necessarily going to discuss Solo. So it's hard to believe in the 8 years of this podcast, only one Star Wars movie has come out in that time.
That crazy. That crazy. Just like us. I mean, just like Bombad. We're in the same boat too. We started in 2019.
Yeah.
Only one movie.
Well, and we started for similar reasons as well, right? Like it just you wanted, there was such an echo chamber of, or it just seemed like there was a lot of negative voices and things like that, for disingenuous reasons, right? Like it wasn't like a disagreement; it was like people saying some very horrible things, back then, And so, yeah, I don't blame you for one. And that's the reason why we decided to do something like this as well,
Yeah, and certainly the journey has been well worth it.
Absolutely.
So even though Mandalorian came out before Rise of Skywalker, let's first cast our minds to the Rise of Skywalker. One of Scotty's most famous videos is reacting to the Rise of Skywalker trailer at Celebration.
Right.
But I remember that teaser, that was
huge, man.
Yeah, it's huge. And of course, the way they did it at Celebration, having Ian McDermott come on stage.
Oh, we were losing our minds.
And this is what I tell everyone, because I mean, for those that don't know that are listening right now, I'm a middle school teacher, and like I'm pretty proud of this video. And they're middle schoolers; they make fun of you for everything. So, I was like, well, the one kid's like, "How many views is your like most viewed video?" I'm like, "Oh, it's like 6.8 million views." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "It's the most viral reaction Star Wars video of all time. Like, it's like number one." And like, and it is what I always tell people. I'm like, you got to realize when that movie and when this podcast started, and when that movie was like in its early press days in April of 2019, like we didn't know the title of the movie. We didn't know who was going to be in it. We didn't know a single detail. So all in one single trailer and that one panel, we got a few behind the scenes shots, and everyone in the trailers, everyone in the panels is like, okay, what do we talk about? Like it's awful. And so the end of that, you get the full thing with, you have no idea where it's set, how many years after TLJ. You just don't know anything. Like we didn't know if there's going to be a 5-year time jump. We just didn't know. But when we get that amazing iconic opening scene with the Kylo Ren's TIE fighter, and it's flying forward, and Rey's got the lightsaber, and she turns around, she does the flip, and like it's beautiful. Everything builds up perfectly, and then we get to the ending, and the ending is in instantly it's Palpatine's laugh, and then it cuts to the movie Star Wars Episode 9: The Rise of Skywalker. It's like it was like the greatest reveal of all time, because everything felt new at that point, right? Like we weren't getting, the legacy characters are kind of gone except for Lando, but Palpatine, so I don't know.
The Palpatine was so out of left field.
It was
that
so crazy.
It felt like we all got hit out like upside the head with a mallet. And that was actually, so this was Scotty and I's first day hanging out, actually, by the way, was that day. It was like the first time we hung out. Was watching that trailer together, which is insane. But then like that's, everyone's losing their ever-loving minds because of all these reveals, all these insane drops. I mean, I couldn't believe I was seeing Lando finally. like in this. We I think we had thought he was going to show up like over the years and stuff like that. And we're like, oh, maybe Billy D's not going to do it, but then just see him finally in there was such a treat,
And we certainly know that The Rise of Skywalker as a film is controversial to say the least.
Yeah.
Tell you up front, in all honesty, and I mean this, it was the greatest theater going experience in the entire year.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
The movie ends with sobbing, joy. I should say with joy. Other people are sobbing for other reasons, but that's it.
Sure.
I'm sobbing with joy. Yeah. My friend's next to me, and he says, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Give me a minute," because I was crying so hard that I could barely speak. It was amazing, and and I went, "Oh man, I want to see what people are going to say about this online." But thankfully, of course, I found this group of friends that we're all kind of on the same page. You can have your quibbles about the decisions they made in the movie. That's fine.
Yeah, of course.
But a lot of the takes on it were kind of cynical, kind of mean-spirited, and not just a matter of, okay, you didn't like it. Okay, no big deal.
Yeah, exhausting even, just the approach to some people's I guess beliefs and what the movie was trying to represent.
Yeah. But there were so many great emotional moments in that movie that just hit me in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that was helped by John Williams' amazing score, as always.
Oh yeah,
the best.
And I mean, for me, there's one of the greatest Star Wars moments is racing Rey Skywalker.
Oh, look, that's the thing. I love this movie because it took some pretty bold swings. A lot like TLJ did. And The Force Awakens took swings. I don't think they were that bold per se, but this one was definitely like, this is how we're going to wrap up this story. And they left it open enough for other people to come in and finish telling some aspects of it. And I love that. That's why I love Star Wars, frankly, is that you could play around with things like that effectively.
And I mean, there were just so many moments. I mean, to me, to get this, 2019. Okay, we got Avengers Endgame and Rise of Skywalker. Endgame is one of the greatest lines that the good guys say before the bad guys defeated. And Iron Man with the Infinity Stone says, "And I am Iron Man," and snaps his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
To me, a moment just as powerful is Palpatine. With this lightning saying, "I'm all the Sith." And then there's that incredible pause, and Rey says, "And I'm all the Jedi." I mean, to me, that is as triumphant as that moment in Endgame.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Daisy Ridley, come on. What else can we say about her? I mean...
But the thing...
And getting to see, good grief, that last moment in Solo.
Yeah.
I mean,
so great.
The thing of Ben giving his life to Rey. I mean, just so many moments in there. And even the appearance of Wedge.
Oh, I forgot about Wedge.
Even for a second, Wedge Antilles showing up.
They shooting Lando? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many moments in there, and to me, the moment that made me cry the hardest. They all get back to Agent Class. Ben, Rey, Poe, all three hug each other. And they're all crying.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all crying, and it gets me crying. I mean, say what you will about the movie, and those listening, we respect if you didn't like it. But I know that for myself, that is a theatrical experience that I will cherish for the rest of my life, and that's why I love that movie, because the impact it had on me was so strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it was cheap. I don't think it was a cheap attempt to get my
Mm-mm.
tears. I think the movie pays off the saga in such an amazing way.
I mean, I agree, Brennan. Like from the Phantom Menace to that movie, like there's a direct through line now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the best line is, "Mom, you always said the galaxy would be a better place if people helped each other." You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like then boom, the final scene or moment in the entire saga is the galaxy coming to help each other to stop
Mm.
oppression from this giant returning evil force. It's brilliant.
I mean, that's the part that sticks with me the most through it. Is the it's not a navy, it's just people of it all. But I mean, even that. I mean, again, we don't need to credit John Williams in his brilliance. We all know he's a genius and stuff like that. But just like that playing of the Star Wars theme where Poe
Oh,
flies around the Star Destroyer and sees everyone showing up.
Oh, yeah.
That da, 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 da. You don't get that very often in the actual like meat of the film.
Which is
A
You're
New
why I was
Hope.
always up
glad.
top and stuff
Why I
like
was
that.
glad they ended Andor that way. Until it's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, another thing too, Brennan, if you don't mind me bringing it up, at the
Yeah.
same exact time, we had Star Wars Fallen Order and The Mandalorian also all releasing like all within a month of each other.
Yes.
So like Mando started in November, Fallen Order was like early December, late November, and then The Rise of Skywalker is December, and then the next week is when The Mandalorian wrapped up. So it was like, I mean, at that point it was like a cacophony of just like here's this, here's this, here's this, and all of them were remarkable bits of storytelling. And everyone, not to be this guy, but everyone's like, it's oversaturated now. I'm like, y'all weren't there in 2019, clearly, when there was three humongous things releasing. It wasn't a show every, 9 or 10 months. Like there was a period in Star Wars where like and that's when the High Republic was being like
Oh, yes.
that's
Yes.
when Project Luminous was revealed. It was like during all of that. So it was
Yes.
like there was just new news and things and rumors and speculation and like Moff Gideon has the dark saber. What is this? And like it was just people tend to forget that there was a oversaturation for that war was even popular in like 2021,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
we were just taking it and we loved it. We were lucky. I
It
remember
was
that
great.
vividly.
And I mean, Rise of Skywalker to me. You've heard this. People say, well, the sequel trilogy doesn't really fit together. I don't know. I watch those three movies and I go, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, ain't
I
that
mean,
crazy.
you get the people are like, wait, Ray's parents can't be our dad can't be Palpatine's clone. That doesn't make sense. Okay, that is a very risky move. Yes, true.
Hmm.
But certainly, let's not forget that Obi-Wan told Luke Vader killed his dad. And then they say, well, what I told you is true from a certain point of view. I mean, let's not forget that this is not the first time that Star Wars has taken the story in a different direction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My his sister? What?
Yeah, that's the thing. People act so surprised, but like this has been established in canon for a long time that like
Yeah.
Star Wars
Well,
just take their own little personal twists and turns. Yeah, I
hmm
agree.
listen. May I counterpoint though with the fact
Oh
that
boy.
Kylo Ren doesn't lie. Okay,
Oh, that's true. He's a good
Mhm.
guy.
not my Ben Skywalker, Solo Skywalker. What is he? He's a Solo, right? Yeah, I'm a Star Wars fan.
So, Ram Rise of Skywalker, which, like it, don't like it. I think that probably the biggest argument I disagree with is when they say, see, these guys just didn't care what movie they were making. And I'm like, well, if you don't think J.J. Abrams cared about what he was doing, then I don't know what movie you're watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't have to like it, but he didn't go into this and, forgive the expression, half-ass it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you just watch behind the scenes. His heart is into this movie. And I mean, certainly we can have discussions about, the Raylo of it all, but I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Um, and other aspects that may have been a little bit disappointing at the time. But for me, the more time has passed, the more I love that movie. And I loved it when I first saw it.
We're 6 years away from it too. I mean, that's an insane
I mean,
disconnect.
by the time
Yeah.
Mando Grogu comes out, it will have been 6.5 years between movies.
Almost 7 years. That's a long
insane.
time,
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Now,
So it
one thing
feels like we've
go ahead.
gotten them. I'm sorry. I was just saying it. It somehow doesn't feel that long because it feels like we've just gotten things so consistently over the years and stuff like that. But it's that saturation, I guess we're talking about. I don't know. It must
No,
be.
I will say too, for a lot of people, this is gonna be their first of the the Rise of Skywalker was some kids probably first Star Wars movie in theaters, and then it went away, and it went to Disney
Theaters.
Plus. And then for kids like Jerry, Jerry's daughter, my cousin Troy,
Oh,
his
yeah.
son, same age, this will be their first, and they'll be the best age for it. Eleanor will be like what, 9 years old, Jerry, by the
She'll
time.
be
Yeah.
9. She'll be 9. I was
My
gonna say.
nephews, I have 6 nephews and 4 nieces. This will be probably the first film for them.
And how cool is that going to be to be able to go see that with her, Brennan? Like that's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, we've got, and they're all Star Wars fans already because I insisted.
Of course, Uncle Brennan, man, he don't play around.
Yeah. Now you
Exactly.
mentioned when you saw the teaser at Celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I cannot wait. We are a year and a half away from Celebration LA. I cannot wait for us to all be able to meet up with each other.
Oh, 2027 is going to be sick.
You
It's
know,
going to be
you guys,
different.
our buddies Eli, John and Cooper, and Jared. I mean, just
Oh yeah.
Connor. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on.
And we didn't technically cross paths then, but like we ran in the same circles. So like, that was before you watched Bombad, like when you did, and that was before we even were on your show or did anything with you. So like it's going to be feel even more communal now. And look, I was in Japan and it was super communal because it was more of a tight-knit group because it wasn't, and not everyone could go to Japan. But I can tell you this much. When 2027 comes around and Starfighter's it's going to be coming out soon, that is going to be so awesome.
Don't
It's gonna be incredible.
I don't want to give anything away, but there is something fun that we might all be doing as a group.
Ooh.
Really?
Certain thing that I don't want to reveal yet.
Yes, I forgot. I was like,
Right.
about?
Yeah, we got to keep that
Also,
on lock.
One thing I can reveal though is by then George Lucas's Museum of Narrative Art will be open.
We gotta go.
And so I imagine that quite a few of us in a group are going to basically be making a field trip to that museum.
I would miss a whole day at the convention if it was like a throwaway day to go to that museum. That's how like that.
Mhm.
And if they were smart, they would make an event that ties it in with the convention itself.
They've got it's
like a wine tasting thing.
2027. It's come on, man.
Well,
They're
the
gonna
wine
do
tasting
that.
thing will be the designated driver.
Yeah.
Hey,
Just
exactly.
put a wagon on the deck of my wheelchair. I'll just be like, come on, guys.
I mean, honestly, you just like you dragging me and Scotty around.
I'll be piling across your lap, Brennan.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Might throw up on you, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I cannot wait. It's going to be fun. It is going to be a blast. And of course, not to get too off track, but of course, Scotty had his panel in Japan. That was really cool.
Very.
But he's got the book. But
the
for
book.
all of us to get to meet up is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I would give that.
Very
I
nice.
may look into giving that presentation again that year. Just to, I don't care what I miss. Unless it's like a Friday and I miss a big thing, but to be able to give that, you know what I mean? Again,
we might have an interesting thing going on, so we'll keep the audience informed.
Yeah.
So The Mandalorian also came out that year. 2019.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't know how they did it. They kept Grogu the biggest secret on the planet.
That's still one of the biggest like mysteries.
That's insane.
How they did that.
Yeah, and I mean that moment when Mando opens that little stroller and there's a baby Yoda, a Grogu. Um, it was like, what? And then it took off in the next episode when it was revealed
Yep. Oh God, that's great.
that Grogu had horse towers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What an amazing show because I mean, it's been a huge success. It was a huge success. Mm. The first Star Wars streaming show, very successful. It gave us a lot of really new and interesting things. Moff Gideon, the Darksaber got reintroduced, the Razor Crest, the armor, this is the way, all these crazy things. And, just looking at the show overall, in my opinion, season 3 is the best season. I know it was not as well received.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, it had the disadvantage of coming out after Andor.
Yeah.
And so everyone was comparing it to Andor. But,
Well, that's why this new trailer that came out today was terrible. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's a completely different shows.
Completely.
Yeah. I would say
And-
the one comment that I actually thought was funny was someone who was like kind of like poking fun at the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer was like,
Okay.
"Who's Gregu? Who's Gregu? This is Baby Yoda." Like, what are you
Who's
doing?
Grogu?
Ragu.
Brother-in-law refuses to say Grogu, so that's all another.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like, yeah, everyone knows Baby Yoda. That's all he ever is gonna be. So
So The Mandalorian as a whole is amazing because it introduces us to this new era in Star Wars storytelling. We get to meet in live action Bo-Katan, played by the great Katie Sackhoff. I've gotten to meet 3 times, by the way, and she's awesome.
oh, beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
We certainly got Ahsoka returning to live action. Rosario Dawson kills it.
Absurdly good.
We certainly have Moff Gideon. We certainly have Mando Grogu. We have Armor. Emily Swallow, who hopefully I get to meet one of these days. Oh, I have met Giancarlo Esposito twice.
Oh, he seems so cool.
Yeah, I just saw him a month and a half ago at the convention. I signed a photo op we did back in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Just Danny Trejo, who's also in Star Wars, but we'll get there in a minute. But Mandalorian Grogu introduces us to so many amazing things. Sorry, I called it Mandalorian Grogu. I meant the Mandalorian, and that's different.
Hey, that branding is strong. We
Yeah,
know
it
what you're
works.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously going back to Mandalorian, all these amazing things that really flesh out the story of what we've seen in the Clone Wars, what we've seen in Rebels. And I can't wait for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, of course. And so what are our overall thoughts on the Mandalorian as a series?
I mean, to me, it's my all-time favorite, and I love that the Book of Boba Fett ties into it like very much directly. It feels so cohesive, and then of course Ahsoka does, and in its own way, Skeleton Crew does as well. So it's kind of a miracle of a show that spawned all these other shows. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
if it didn't work in 2019 and that first season didn't do well, I'm pretty sure it was slated for 2 seasons. But I think they knew by the time the second season came around, like it was like, okay, We've got something on our hands. Luke is showing up. These big moments. Overall, as a show, it's my favorite show. Still, I love The Acolyte. I love Kenobi. I love Andor. I love Book of Boba Fett. I mean, we've been very lucky. Ahsoka's amazing. Skeleton Crew maybe one of my second favorites, but like through and through, man, The Mandalorian just has the sauce. It's got everything I've always liked in Star Wars, especially the high fantasy, but in particular the mythology of Star Wars and what that looks
Right.
like. How can we mythologize these two characters that are like not really like they're Grogu is a puppet and the Mandalorian was a mask. Like it's so incredible that they can tell such.
Grogu's a puppet? Oh no.
Oh yeah, it was no. Did you see in the
Oh,
credits? They
Scotty,
said
shh,
they
no,
said
You
no,
ruined my
Grogu.
dreams. He's not real. Oh
They
no.
said
no.
Grogu.
It said no. You're okay. It said Gregu as himself on
Oh,
the
Grogu as
poster. It's
himself.
fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Um.
What do you mean
Right.
to tell
Well.
me he's not real? Oh no.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah.
break your
No.
hearts. That was not
No.
what I
He's.
was here for.
The spirit of Grogu lives within us all. So
Grogu?
well,
Okay.
here's what I love about the Mandalorian and stuff, and I mean it's kind of the thing I love about all of Star Wars and everything like that. If it's got a lot of wacky, crazy creatures and stuff like that, I'm gonna love it. Here's what I love about it, and this sounds like it would be like a criticism from coming from anyone else, but from me, this is the highest of compliments. It's like they said, what is everyone wanted to see from Star Wars in live action? And let's put it in The Mandalorian. It's pretty much like there's been so many things that I'm like, man, that would be cool. Like maybe something that I saw. And again, not to cheapen like animation and stuff like that, but like maybe something that happened in the Clone Wars or some character or some species that was in the Clone Wars or something happening there. It's like, it'd be really cool to see that in a movie, like a live action movie.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
And they do that. And that is just, I love that they're willing to take big, silly swings. That's what I love about it. And it gets a lot of heat for that. It gets a lot of heat for being the action figure show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, I actually just saw a harddrive.net joke article about how they made Dave Filoni put his dolls down for 10 seconds to ask him a question or something, which is funny.
Funny.
But it's one of those things where it's just like, I mean, that is part of this. That's part of the very essential DNA of this franchise is kids with action figures in the sandbox, and that's, I don't know, man. Like, it's just one of those things that I if it's not for you, that's fine, but to me, that is like essential to the DNA of what Star Wars is. Even Andor itself has that giant cursed Cabbage Patch looking guy in the first season. Like, he looks like a cursed Cabbage Patch doll that hulks out. And then you've got the
Durian Treaty.
Gary, yeah, exactly. Those guys were great, but super weird, and I loved them. You've got the older alien, in the newer season and stuff like that. You got
E.T.'s grandma.
yeah. E.T.'s grandma looking.
Oh
looking
yeah.
Chewing and stuff like that.
It's humorless as Andor Night V. That would be one of the funniest moments in all of Star Wars.
I agree.
Mm.
It's Claire going, what?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's such a great moment. Yeah, the Mandalorian is playing with your action figures, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. And Star Wars has been doing this for a long time. And I understand, if that doesn't work for some people, that's fine. But yeah, I just enjoy it's the whimsy of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now we mentioned Book of Boba Fett. Now this is where things get interesting. This is when I had to block a lot of Star Wars related stuff on my social media. Because the reaction to the Book of Boba Fett wasn't entirely positive.
Mm-hmm.
And interesting feelings about the show, but overall I really liked it. And I mean, let's just be clear. The mods are awesome. I mean, come on.
I loved the mods. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That's where it took a lot of heat. It's like these bikers and, what the heck? And of course, when, Sophie Thatcher plays a character, I'm never going to say no to that. So,
Yeah. You kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, even though she's really cute. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go there. But I mean, there's so many great. I mean, Black Chrysanthemum in live action.
Another see?
I
Yeah.
mean, are you kidding
Things
me?
from the
That was
comics.
so cool.
Huge moment.
They brought Cobb Vanth, which was a
Yes, they brought Cobb Vanth.
it was a
Yes.
background character in a vignette in a book.
Yes, and don't we
Or it
love
was-
Timmy the Elephant? We love Timmy the Elephant. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the best.
Think it through, as he says.
Think it through. I
Mhm.
forgot that's such a
Think
good
it through.
moment. Think it
Yeah,
through.
and of course, I
Hey.
mean, you have those great episodes of The Mandalorian. I understand that.
Mhm.
Well, you remember the old argument that Book of Boba Fett got so bored with its main character that it had to go with other characters, and I think that might be missing the point of the whole idea. But I mean, come on, the M1 Starfighter going through the pod race from Phantom Menace, getting to see Luke,
Oh, the best.
I forget that
getting
was
to
in there.
see
It's
Ahsoka
crazy.
hanging out with Luke.
Right.
Ahsoka and Luke on screen together? Are you kidding me? This is awesome.
Something again that has been immortalized in fan art.
Oh my
and
God,
things
they
like
are for
that, right?
years.
Yeah.
For years.
No, I'm sure that there's certain corners of the internet you might not want to go to look up Luke and Ahsoka fan art.
No, not those ones for sure.
Not those
Yeah,
ones.
no.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
say that for Bombadcast.
Those are the ones we look up. Yeah, we look up
Yes,
those on Bombadcast.
Gerry.
We were going to the exact same place.
Mind
Yeah,
melded.
it's okay. I'll be in the chat.
Speaking of which, tune in Thursday.
It's okay. I'll be in the chat to keep you guys on the straight and narrow.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's what Brennan's there for.
Brennan, we're gonna hang on
I'm
to
the one who has to
Brennan's heels as he
exercise all
goes
the
to heaven.
demons,
That's okay. We put you
I'm
in
the one
charge
who
of
has
that.
to exercise the chat.
The chat is unruly. The chat is
Yes.
unruly.
But yes, moments like that. I mean, we still have yet to see the moment where Luke tells Ahsoka what happened to Anakin.
I know. God, I can't wait for that.
But that can be a moment. But yeah, look at all that. I mean, it's definitely a. Yet again, it's you're either going to go with it or you're not going to go with it, and that's fine. But it's really going with the goofier and weirder and wackier side of Star Wars. And I mean, let's cast our minds back to 1977. Got a 7 foot tall guy in a dog costume. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Star Wars has always been weird and wacky and silly.
Yeah, it's not that serious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then of course we got the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I gotta tell you, this series is terribly underrated, I think. Giving us some great stuff with like Riva, the third sister. Little Leia, I mean, come on. This was a case of this is the Star Wars I didn't know I needed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Star Wars so often gives that to us. It gives us what we need. It doesn't just give us what we want. But Vivian Lyra Blair as Little Leia, so great.
It's
scene
one of
where
my
she says
favorite new
goodbye.
performances.
Yeah. The scene where she says goodbye to Obi-Wan. He says, "Will I ever see you again?" That breaks my heart every time.
Mm-hmm.
Not breaks my heart, but it makes me cry every time because it's a reflection, of course, of that great scene in Phantom Menace of Anakin saying goodbye to his mother. but also the bond that Leia and Obi-Wan established in the show is just so endearing. And
Mm-hmm.
when he, kneels down and tells her about her parents, I cry every time.
Oh my God. It's so beautiful. The you're forthright like your mother. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Or your
Oh
father.
man.
I forget who she says that for, but I can tell you
The
what
forthright was the father, I think.
yes,
But yeah.
father. Man, did I cry.
Yes, it gets me
Oh,
So
every
many tears.
time. And, of course, the triumphant return of Hayden Christensen to Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing because he is amazing.
yeah, one of the
Yes.
best.
Yeah, this is crazy. So unfortunately, I did not know the two of you guys in 2022.
Yeah.
Good Star Wars Celebration. I'm sure we were all in the same room at the same time. So I'm in
Most
there
likely.
we're getting in line for a photo op. Unexpectedly, they announced Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen coming to the stage. It was a stampede, so I'm glad I was where I was. But it just shows you how much love for Hayden and Ewan and the prequels has grown over time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Scotty, you grew up with the prequels. That was really your first exposure to Star
Yeah,
Wars.
that was it.
But getting to see this story unfold with Ewan, with Hayden, with little Leia, and of course, you have to give the shout out to Moses Ingram. She was amazing.
Oh yes.
And it was just such a joy to see. Yes, there are moments that maybe don't work for me in that show, but overall, the emotional feelings I have toward that show are very strong because to me it was just so full of the emotional connections that just make the overall saga stronger. What do you guys think of the show?
Oh, it certainly ties in the prequel trilogy. Like we had the privilege of getting Clone Wars, throughout this as well. And we've had the
Right.
privilege of getting all these other supplemental material, canon audiobooks, canon books, like all these things. But I can tell you with my whole heart that was the one that felt like the most very vindication. I don't know. I can't forget how to say the word. Like in the sense of the sentence I'm looking for. Like I felt vindicated
Vindicative.
watching it because it's a series of things that I've always loved and really appreciated in Star Wars. But like it took a lot of people that show for them to go, oh, okay, this is how you tie it up together without contradicting A
Mm-hmm.
New Hope, mind you.
Yes,
I
Right.
always thought it was
yes.
weird about the Darth this, Darth that, and A New Hope. I'm like, why? That's your boy. That's Anakin. And then you see in the final battle in Kenobi, on the
Mm,
unnamed moon, which I love. I hope they never give it a name. It's so mythical. It feels so mythical without a name. I know we got some canon junkies in here, Jerry, but like
I
it doesn't
love
have
no
a
name
name. It
things.
doesn't have
no
a
name
name
things
yet.
is pretty
Yeah.
awesome. It's kind of nice. So it was all that. It was the culmination of all that.
Oh,
And
I
then
mean,
you
you're
had the
talking about one of the best moments in recent Star Wars.
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
The split helmet, the voice going back and forth between Anakin and Vader. You didn't kill him, Anakin. I did.
Oh, it's amazing.
That was one of the most chilling line reads, I
Yeah.
think,
Because that
in the
really does
entire
kind of
saga.
explain that certain point of view thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, we
Uh,
also get the entire premise of it was that he was protecting Luke, and Luke would be fine, but in order to protect Luke, he also got to protect Leia,
yeah.
and we never consider that as a fandom, right?
We
We
No.
always
never
thought
did.
Leia was fine.
We were always like, Luke's the one that we should be focusing on. It's like, really?
Yep, but the joke's on us. I mean,
Yeah, I
Leia
mean,
needed to get saved.
they are saying she's as important as he is, and you know it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course,
Oh,
I mean, the whole fact that it is the story of what evil does to people because you consider the third sister. Right, she was nearly killed by Vader during the Order 66. She joins the Inquisitors not with the intent of obeying, but with the intent of, I'm going to get revenge on this guy. And so it's the idea that evil just leads to more evil. And it just, it's a cycle of hate and anger and revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, and it was wonderful to see that moment when she was finally able to break free. And wherever her story goes, hopefully it leads to a better tomorrow for her.
I agree.
Same.
But it was such an interesting twist to be like, oh, she's trying to kill Vader.
Mm-hmm.
So many things to talk about in that show that were just incredible. And I remember, I believe it premiered during Celebration.
Mm-hmm.
I remember sitting in my hotel room watching it that morning that I came to the convention. Where, unfortunately, I'm sure I cast you guys somewhere, but, we never.
Crazy. Ugh.
But thankfully, we only have a year and a half till we can all meet up together. So.
That's right.
That's right.
Like 2 ships passing the night, Brennan. That was us.
Yeah. And it's interesting. So the same year that Kenobi came out, that's season 1 of Andor. And so talking about Andor overall, just ended a few months ago. Incredible series.
Mm-hmm.
Rightly won the Emmy for Best Writing in a Drama Series this last weekend.
Oh, deserved.
Absolutely.
And it's a show that we all love. It's a different flavor. But there's very few things about that show that I didn't like. Most of it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just overall, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. It was amazing.
I agree. It was that special.
And it got snubbed for the acting at the Emmys, which we're all still kind of upset about. Because, I mean, Genevieve O'Reilly, for heaven's sake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, her last couple episodes were insane. So.
Yeah. And, obviously there's a lot to connect with real world politics in that show.
Right.
But it really is, it wasn't intended to be a direct political commentary because anyone who studied history knows that this stuff happens all the time.
In many cultures, too, not just the United States. I mean, this is like the French Revolution. You can go back any point in time and see when these things occurred, But that's the thing. That's the problem with oppression. That's the problem with a tyrannical ruler. You know what I mean?
Oppression is the mask of fear.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
To quote our wonderful one. Well, Mimic actually, but I think she says something to the effect.
Right. No, yeah, you're on it. You're on it.
Andor is such an amazing show on every level. I am so happy that it won Best Costumes and Best Art Direction at the Emmys.
Yeah.
If Michael Wilkinson did not win Best Costumes, I was going to be very upset. Because those are some of the most beautiful costumes I've seen in anything.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much to say about the show, but the writing and the performances are top level. It's introduced us to a whole new group of characters that, yet again, are the characters I never knew I needed in my Star Wars.
Right.
I mean, Dedra Meero might be one of the new great villains, and it's really hard to become an all-time Star Wars villain when you're competing with Vader, the Emperor, Kylo Ren,
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
I mean, like,
where?
exactly, like Dooku. I mean, you're right.
I mean, it's
Like,
hard to Darth Maul. It's hard to put yourself on that level, but she's one of the all-time great new Star Wars villains.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
he's amazing.
And
A
I mean,
more
in my
realistic
opinion,
villain as
Emmy
well.
Scoff should have been nominated for an Emmy also.
Mm-hmm.
But just an amazing show on so many levels. And just to be clear, I don't put it against the other shows.
Hmm.
Right.
To me, each show is telling its own style, its own story. And even Tony Gilroy said there's no need to compare these things.
No.
Yeah, they don't. It doesn't need to be a competition. So
That's the only way that some people can discuss some of this stuff, though. You know, like they can only discuss something or post something if it is that's what's going to get the likes or the engagement. You
Look,
know,
and I'll admit it.
is all of that.
I'm guilty of that, and I think some people can be,
You?
honest. I'm guilty of like kind of rage baiting people, but
yeah,
like,
Sorry, no,
yeah,
but I
never.
will say there's something to be said about a show that like is critically acclaimed. It is that for a reason. It's really well done. It's purposeful. It's just different than most Star Wars, and I love Andor. I love it. I mean, I love Skeleton Crew. I love the Acolyte, but it's Andor's the lowest on my totem pole, just because it's not the one that speaks to me on a deeply mythological and psychological level. I could still enjoy it, but it just I don't worry about politics in my own life all that much. Um, I like talking about it and analyzing it, but I don't make it a full thing that my brain's concerned with all the time. But I do, however, think about like the human condition a lot, and like every Star Wars show speaks to the human condition and what it means to be human and what it means to navigate a world with mysteries and our what does it mean to be a family, right? Like Andor had all those themes, but it felt a little more sophisticated, and while that's good, it's not. I kind of like the rawness of Rebels, or the honesty of Skeleton Crew, or the deception of the Acolyte, or the found family of Mando Grogu, the adoptive family, even, or the Book of Boba Fett. This man's an older man, and he's trying to redo his whole life. There's so many cool things that Star Wars has now gotten in this new era that would not have been explored otherwise. Most movies kind of stick it to plot, theme, characters, twist, over. Whereas shows have time to tell these stories and give these moments to viewers that are invested like us. And like we read all the books, we read all the comics, we have our own podcasts, we all listen to our friends' podcasts. Like we obviously care enough about this that I'm happy we're in a time now, and I'm thankful that we went through a time where we are starting to get new stuff and shows aren't as much. They're not as abundant as they used to be. Where we actually the only things we have know that are coming are Maul Shadow Warrior,
yes,
and we got Vision season 3, and then we've
Mhm.
got Ahsoka season 2. And as for the like television slate, ain't much we know about, and that's kind of exciting. Star Wars is gonna be back in the theaters when we know it. It's gonna be awesome, y'all.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we all absolutely love Andor. We I don't do rankings and things just because I'm like I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Is it my favorite of the Star Wars shows? Well, some people ask me that, and I kind of go, um, define favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's like it's the best made. I'm watching it. Me, no more Jedi. So Rebels is always going to be my favorite show.
Yeah. I always feel like it's what speaks to you, like what
Yeah,
speaks to
Right.
you and your person. And if Rebels is yours, the Phantom Menace is mine. And everyone's like, what? I mean, we don't get that as much as we used to. But man, back in 2018, 2019, when people would ask me my favorite, but like, yeah, probably the Phantom Menace, they would think I was absolutely
Yeah.
like, but the Empire Strikes Back. I'm like, Revenge of the Sith. I'm like, I couldn't care. They're great movies, but like, I don't put those on to have a good time. You know
yeah.
what I
You
mean?
need a wacky, whimsy kind of movie.
I mean, look, we live in a world that's already pretty dark and oppressive.
True.
Why kind of sit in those feelings even when we're watching a movie, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
it's not like I'm gonna watch Andor every single day and go, oh man.
Yeah.
no, it's
Well,
great
we
to
don't need to watch Andor to know fascism bad,
Yes,
yes, yes.
and we don't like it in our country, like
yes.
And
we
look,
don't have to watch it.
other Star Wars projects are really good about saying fascism bad without blatantly saying fascism bad, you know? Give us some subtlety.
Well,
Like
it's so funny when people say Andor's the first Star Wars show to address politics.
you didn't watch the prequels or the original
All of us are
trilogy.
Right.
like, we've been listening, we've been here.
Yeah, like
The Ewoks would like a word.
yeah, Star Wars Resistance would even like a word. Like that show is all about Bad Batch. You know, that's come out since
Rebels,
2019.
rebels.
Arguably the greatest show, animated show for me personally. I mean, Bad
Mhm.
Batch is
I mean, Clone
amazing.
Wars has some. I mean, it's all political. It's all.
Yes.
Um, Andor isn't the first one to address politics.
No, but it is the first one to do it in a sense of like absolute utmost confidence. This is what we're discussing and looking at every episode. And that's nice. But at the same exact time, and I said this earlier, when it gets too real world for me, there's a scene I don't want to get too much into, but where a character essentially gets assaulted in a way, a female
yes,
character,
yes,
and I
yeah.
was like, okay, like are we do, why, like I understand addressing it, and I understand that it happens in our real world,
I
and I understand that
understand
it's
that the
messed up.
Empire would probably do something like that. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, do we gotta do this? Like, I don't know. I think it's
At
important.
least the guy got his just rewards.
Oh yeah, he did.
Mhm.
Certainly
Mhm.
did. He earned his death, you know?
Yeah, and his brains dashed in. Yay. Um, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's intense stuff. It's like, oh my. Um, regardless, the it's a great show, and we are all very blessed to have it as part of the Star Wars story.
100%.
So then we have Ahsoka, which gives us the mystical elements that Dave Filoni
Mhm.
really likes to play with. And I mean,
Right.
come on, live action Sabine. I mean, come on, it's awesome.
Perfect fantasy.
Yes, Natasha Liu Bordizzo is amazing in the role.
Oh yes. Oh yes. She's pitch perfect in my
Yeah,
opinion.
but
Absolutely.
Truly.
so much. I mean, there's so much to talk about with the show, but the itch it scratches for me is that mystical element to Star Wars. And the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn to the galaxy,
That was so cool.
which is going to still some pretty big challenges for the New Republic.
Right.
And of course, we have to mention the sad loss of Ray Stevenson. Was excellent as Dalen Skull. Um,
Oh yeah.
I am very happy that after his death, they decided to recast the ring.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I didn't want a CGI doppelganger. Ugh. And I didn't want them to write him out of the story because the actor passed away.
And they clearly
Right.
ended on a beat of him.
Yeah, and I mean,
You know?
the statues of the father and the son. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
the mystical elements. I mean, this is like Lord of the Rings meets Star Wars.
Yeah. Exactly. 100%.
Whole
And
different galaxy.
it's amazing. So,
Yeah. Lots of walking in Ahsoka as well, like Lord of the Rings. So
Yes.
yes, and it definitely scratches the itch for me of that fantasy that Star Wars is.
yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Do you guys have any thoughts on the Ahsoka series overall?
You know, Ahsoka is the one that actually was the more the like we had some insane reveals in all of these shows, but
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka was the one I was like different galaxy. Like you know, there was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that was
Pathway to
like
Peridia.
I didn't know we could do that. You know what I mean? And like, why not? There's different galaxies in our world. You know, like we can
And,
totally go to different
and
galaxies.
who would have thought years ago when they introduced the space whales in Rebels? saving them from an evil bad eco organization
Well, I mean,
would lead to another galaxy. I mean, my goodness.
yeah. I mean, not even the space whales, the world between worlds,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the
which
highlight.
was a concept that was always joked about being thrown into live action,
Yeah, well, don't ask the Raylos about the world between worlds because they think that's how to save Ben Solo, but that's another story.
That's yeah, right.
But yes, the highlight of the Ahsoka series. Hayden Christensen, without the mask, it's Anakin returning to the screen in a big way with Ahsoka in live action.
Mm.
I mean, my goodness, what an incredible experience that was.
It's amazing. There was nothing like it, really. You know, I mean, that was unstoppable. The emotion, like the fact when it ended on, him and it turns. You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
on
Yeah.
the episode previous,
I
and
mean,
then
to
Shadow
have
Warrior
him,
just.
to have Anakin there post Return of the Jedi is very, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if cathartic's the right word. It feels very therapeutic. It feels good, because that's what you want to see. Like that's just to see him post Return of the Jedi, absolutely incredible.
it is. It's such an experience, and getting to those last lessons with Ahsoka. And then Ahsoka is basically baptized, if you think about it, and emerges as Ahsoka the White.
Yeah, oh my God, that's and
Right.
it, and that pays off. It pays off the
Lord of the
Rebels,
Rings.
epilogue,
Yes, it is.
and yeah, obviously he had to work around it a little bit, but he knew he was going to go from Ahsoka the Grey to Ahsoka the White, and like the piano when she wakes up and she doesn't have the headband on, everyone freaked out, like what is this? That's what they look like,
And
without the
then you
headband on.
Oh,
see little Jason Sandula, little
yes.
Jason Sandula running around. That was really
Oh,
cool.
and he has some force latency. You know what I mean? Oh, so cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
and Huyang, Professor Huyang in live action. The
Oh
incredible
man, because
lieutenant who we all love.
see, Professor Hugh Yang was one that I have always wanted in live action. I'm even on the record on the show talking about that, and just like to have so much of him, like to have him be Ahsoka's sidekick, essentially, was one of my favorite choices of the entire show.
And how obnoxious he is.
Yeah, I love him. I love him so much.
Now, because we're running low on time, we'll jump to real quick to the Acolyte. And, the Acolyte was gone too soon.
Absolutely.
I had a weird reaction to that show. I enjoyed it. I think it gave us some of the best lightsaber fighting outside of the prequels.
Hmm.
Great new character. I mean, Master Soul is a great new character. Um, Pioneer, of course, everyone's talking about. And uh, it's hard to explain, but I was uncomfortable with the show.
Right.
What aspects of it? Like, what was
Um,
is there anything in particular that you were like, not for me? Like
I
a mo-
thought, and I've since changed my mind, but I thought that it was too much advocating for the Jedi being sus and the dark side being good.
That's fair.
Mm.
But then I realized something. I think that might be the point. It wants the dark side to seem appealing.
Hmm.
Because why do you think people fall to the dark side?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, you can make the Jedi seem suspicious. Kind you're throwing out is, I'm just asking a question. And we saw this in the discourse around the show. A lot of people were agreeing with him and not with the Jedi. Or saying the witches never did anything wrong. Well, let's be clear. The witches split somebody's soul in half.
Yep.
That doesn't sound like a good thing to me.
It's still dark. I mean, like, as people want to be like, oh well, they have their coven, they're not doing anything wrong. You're right, they're not doing anything wrong, but like
Yeah.
they're still dark side witches doing dark side things like controlling life and splitting a consciousness into two. Like
Yes.
that's going against the nature of midichlorians and the Force. So like you are in a way, playing God isn't the best phrase, but in a way you are manipulating life to your advantage, and that is how you create someone that is probably more valuable. And that's what we see. We see May go from the bad guy to the good guy, and then Osha go from the good guy to the bad guy because of the fact that, like, you know, you are splitting someone's not just consciousness but their soul, right? Like you said earlier, you are tearing them apart from who they are on a fundamental genetic and spiritual level, right? And so that show had taught me more about like how the Force could function than I was expecting, and I think that's what
Yes.
most people
Right.
can admit that.
And
You know,
so the way that I've come to look at the show now is, yeah, the whole point of it is to make the dark side seem more appealing than the light side.
yep.
Because, we've seen a lot of Star Wars where, the villains are building space stations that blow up entire planets.
Mm-hmm.
And we all can sit there going, oh, that's bad. But if you can make a show where the bad guy, and you're sitting there watching it going, well, maybe he's right about that, then it's easier to reel you into the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
By tricking you into thinking, well, those Jedi are kind of sus. Let's not go with them.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the dark side. We're not really doing anything wrong. If they can make it feel like that, that's how they win. And I do, now that I think about it that way, really appreciate that they were giving us the opportunity to experience what it's like for someone choosing the dark side in the Star Wars story. Of being pulled in by some of the deception.
Mm-hmm.
So I realize now that the thing that made me uncomfortable actually makes me go, oh, now I get it. So, and then of course, as we mentioned, Skeleton Crew, which after the cancellation of the Acolyte and all the yelling and screaming online, it was such a breath of fresh air to get
Oh,
Skeleton Crew.
it really was.
But pretty much everybody online was being positive and nice. And it was just such a fun show.
It really
Very
was.
fun. Had that like old school 80s Amblin feel to it.
80s feel, yes.
Mm-hmm. It had that Spielbergianness to it, which most people love. Everyone loves it.
Suburbs, pirates.
Well, also like deception too, like the
Deception,
idea
yeah.
that everything you assume the world would be like isn't, and like honestly, I'm going through that right now in my personal life. Like everything I assumed my life was going to be has not been, uh, for better or for worse, and that goes for anyone. It's supposed to be that way, like it's not everything can be cut as cut and dry,
Mhm.
in that show every character's like, well, there's good guys and bad guys, and the Jedi's a good guy, and like if they have a lightsaber they're a good guy, and then like Jod holds a lightsaber to all those kids' throats, and you're like, gee, like you can't trust an adult, you know what I mean? This guy will
Mm-hmm.
disappoint you. Everyone warned them this guy's gonna disappoint you. And what they are, they're naive kids, just like I'm a naive adult, just like you are both naive adults. We fall for
Mm-hmm.
stuff because we think we have it figured out, and it's not necessarily that we do. And that's one of the first times Star Wars has been like really like like DJ, in the Last Jedi, like you don't join, like just don't trust who you're talking to. And this is very much a version of that, but way more personal and real. And I couldn't imagine going through this kind of thing with my friends and then meeting some jerk adult that like had only their interest in mind, and
Right.
manipulated me into thinking that I was gonna be helpful to them. I mean, it's that show had the themes of that show, I think, get overlooked because it does contain, essentially a cast of four children and an adult, and a robot.
Right.
Right. Best Star Wars kids I think we've ever had.
That's right.
And as I always like to say, kneel before kneels. Remote meal. Remote meal. There's so much.
One of the best characters ever made.
So
Yeah,
good.
John
So good.
Nolan is a great new character. I mean, there's so
Mhm.
much.
I'd say this is one of the shows I've tried to watch a couple of the shows with my kiddo, and this is one that she really latched onto because of the children protagonists and stuff like that. Like she really was able to see herself in there, and it had a lot of that, just like that pure magic, right? Of just like exploring when you're a kid. And it was, I don't know, man, Skeleton Crew it was absolutely special. It's, I don't know, it might be one of the more special ones that we've gotten of the new era, I think.
Yeah.
Just from that perspective.
Just because he said originally, it's inspired by the Spielbergian Amblin stuff in the 80s.
Right.
We were like, okay. And then we watched it and went, oh, wow, they weren't lying.
Like the whole idea that the parents
this is as 80s Stranger Things as you can get.
well, it's like the parents are kind of stupid. You know what I mean? Like I've always loved that trope. Like,
well, it was what was it, latchkey? They were latchkey kids,
yes.
Essentially. Like it was very much that's an 80s thing.
Kids, yeah.
You don't have that anymore because that's just not the way society is anymore.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave kids on their own.
Out wandering in nature and stuff. I mean, very 80s feel. And I mean, and they're, it's pretty much all the live action shows. And there, of course, have been the Dutch, which is incredible. Yeah.
So, if I'm not mistaken, and tell me if I'm wrong, but whenever you launched this show, was Resistance the first new project? Because it didn't come out in August of 2020, 2018? Pretty sure it was that, right?
Yes, I do believe it came out after this podcast started.
Wow, that's crazy. And that's a pretty wild thing.
2 years ago. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. It's really a lot of fun. It gets overlooked. And then, of course, you have these other shows on the literary level. You have the High Republic. Basically, the last 8 years that I've been doing the show have been such an incredible and magical time for Star Wars. And to think, most of the time, there's only been one movie, but it's still a magical time.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything else we're getting, we had some cool stuff to look forward to next year as well. With Ahsoka Season 2, can't wait. And Maul Shadow Lord.
Oh, I can't wait.
I've gotten to meet Sam twice. Listen to me.
Oh, really?
But yeah, so in all the time that I've gotten to do this podcast, I think that the greatest thing to me has been getting to meet my fellow podcasters. Getting to be on other people's shows, on your guys' show, and you getting to be on mine. The network that we've all built up with each other as friends. Under, of course, the incredible umbrella of Force Center, our good friends. Over there, Ken and Joseph and Jennifer, who we love.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that you guys, but for me, they were kind of the reason I started the podcast. Because I saw what they were doing, and I realized the tools existed. I'm like, well, why not? Why don't I just throw my hat in the ring and see?
Yeah.
And also getting to be part of the Bombadcast family has meant the world to me. And Scotty, I mean this with all sincerity. when you were on my show in January to discuss midichlorians, that was the greatest episode.
Oh, I love you, Brennan, man. I was a great episode. That was being able to plug this book that I wrote without even telling you that I wrote a book.
Yeah,
That was awesome. The panel, Japan, all of it. And like this book has brought me a lot of connections to other people that I was never expecting because it's such a dense topic. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It is
And
what it is.
and you, I don't want to toot my own horn. I've been the first person to have you on their show to talk about your your
You're number
videos.
one. Mm-hmm. That's right.
And then the floodgates open because everyone else did too.
That's right. It was right after. No, and that's the thing too. Like you notice this since that's another thing I want to address real quick. We, in terms of the 8 years, we've seen the fandom fluctuate a little bit.
Hmm.
There was a much bigger presence of jerks in 2018 with the release of the movie that's right over your shoulder, Brennan, The Last Jedi. We saw that come around pretty
One of my
intensely.
favorites.
We of course when Jerry and I had our moments against those kind of people. I think a lot of people did at that time, and then we've started to see that part of the fandom not dissipate, but it's nowhere as intense as it used to be that many years ago.
That's
And
true.
they resurface every now and then. But the reason I'm bringing all that up is because as a fandom, I think it has grown a lot since 2018. I think it's grown in a way we won't even expect it to have seen it grow. Like when these kids that are coming up, like, oh my God, I grew up during the best time. I grew up whenever The Mandalorian was coming out on Disney Plus. I was like 8 years old.
Yeah,
And they were born in 2010 or whatever. And then you're gonna have, when they're our age and their 30s and whatnot, like they'll be able to be like, yeah, I was super lucky before the Apple Vision Pro series that's coming out, or whatever. Like, they'll have their own version of like, what we had was better, just like we say with the prequels, or y'all
Right,
say
right.
with some, like we all have our own things. And that's the beautiful part of the fandom is that now we've gotten to the point where, and look, we talked this on Bombadcast before. There is like over 70 episodes of live action Star Wars, and that is from 2018 on. That's
mm,
Yeah,
insanity. What a number.
yeah.
Who would have thought there have been more hours in live action than there have been films made in Star Wars?
yes.
Probably even animation if you really want to do the math.
Right, right.
Like animation's only 22 minutes or whatever it was for Clone Wars.
A rewatch used to be so breezy,
Yes, it is. You're right.
stuff like that. It used to be
Yes.
like a week, and now it's at least a month.
Oh, at least at the very minimum a month,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
if you're working overtime. That's if you're like
Right.
watching, 2 movies a day and a show in the evening. Like, yeah.
Catch a couple on your lunch break and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I watched 42 episodes of Breaking Bad. I'm sorry, 62 episodes of Breaking Bad in 40 days because I had COVID for a good chunk of those days, for like
I
5
think
or
I
6
did the
days.
same thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we live in a time now where you can kind of pick and choose your Star Wars too. And that was different in 2018 than when you started and when we started in 2019. It
And
was very much you were like, okay, we've got these movies and that's it, and a few shows, Rebels and Clone Wars, but like even then it was manageable, like Jerry said. Like rewatches weren't something that felt like a chore for the most part.
Something I used to do every year that I don't quite get into as much.
It's hard.
as often. Yeah, yeah.
And look, I'll be real. Leading up to Mandalorian, like probably starting in December or January, I will be rewatching that show once
me
a
too.
week.
Me too.
Just hyping it up and looking at it from different perspectives and seeing how it's all tied together. And yeah, I'm so lucky. I'm thankful you had us on to talk about this because it's allowed me to have time to reflect on so much of this changed in my personal life, but most importantly in the Star Wars world that we all inhabit and that we all wouldn't have known each other without.
Yes.
Everyone
Right.
has their thoughts on the Disney era, but like, let's be real. None of us fans in our 30s and 40s or 20s even like would have had the opportunity to connect over this stuff if it still finished in 2005. If George still had his rights to this company. And I know I'm going on a tangent, but like that's the beauty of this whole thing is that I can talk to someone like Brennan, who I would have never met otherwise. I love you,
Yes.
Brennan, but I wouldn't have met you.
Yes.
Jerry, same, right? It was
Right.
because of
Right.
this community and these interactions and these moments that we have the privilege to do this now, and people want to listen and hang out and be involved.
Just people might say, "Oh, the Star Wars fandom's so toxic." I'll tell you what. The greatest thing about Star Wars is the community.
Yep.
And we may have an opportunity to talk about that in a year and a half. We won't tip our hand to the audience just yet.
Not yet.
But we have something coming up that might be of interest to you.
Maybe.
But regardless, the friendships that we found in this community, that is the greatest element that Star Wars introduced to the world. And of course, we have to use a huge thank you to the man who made it all happen, George Lucas.
Yep.
Mhm.
Amen. Bless up.
And we're coming up on, can you believe it, 50 years of Star Wars.
Insane.
So I cannot thank you guys enough for joining me today to talk about the storytelling we've gotten in these last 8 years.
Well, thank you for having us, bud.
What a journey it's been on this podcast to meet so many great people.
Yeah.
To listen to a ton of other great Star Wars podcasts. And to get to celebrate our shared love for this. And even maybe elements that we don't all agree on. But at least getting the opportunity as a group to share what we do love. In the words of Rose Tico, that's how we're going to win. Not fighting what we hate, but saving what we love.
That's right.
Mm.
And that, I think, is what this community has allowed us to do. So, everyone, as we conclude, we are 15 days away from your host, me, turning 40 years old.
Incredible.
So, next Friday evening, from 6 to 9:30 p.m. Pacific, I will be having a 40th birthday live stream that evening that anyone who is interested is more than welcome. Come in if you want to be in the chat, if you want to hop in and say hi. And I will be posting that later this evening, the information on that, on all my social media platforms. So those of you listening who are interested, please go there. But I'm gearing up for the big day of turning the big 4-0. Going to Rancho Obi-Wan was my big birthday present, by the way.
Nice.
Oh, that's incredible.
Lordy, Brennan's 40.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm not far behind you, buddy. I'm not far behind you. I'm
Jerry's
catching up.
Also, Scotty, because Scotty's so much younger than us.
I just turned 30 in June. Yes.
Yeah. That's coming up. So everyone keep an eye out for that.
Heck yeah.
Gentlemen, where can we find you?
Oh, I'll say where you could find me. You could find me on the Bombadcast live every Thursday at 8 p.m. on our YouTube channel, the Bombadcast. We'll be covering all kinds of fun stuff. I don't know when this is going to get posted, but we do have a huge build up to The Force Awakens 10-year anniversary, which brought us all back together. We're going to be hyping it up for November all the way to December. So it's going to be literally a 7-week hype build up. And then October we'll be doing all of our Star Wars creepy stuff that we always do.
Lots of spooky stuff going on. Oh yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. We're looking at some spooky stuff.
Like me turning 40, that's spooky enough.
That's gonna be crazy. It's gonna freak everyone out. October 3rd.
That is part of that. That is what kicks off the celebration, my friend.
My birthday's the 8th, but the celebration will be on the 5th.
Ah, okay. No, you can find all of our stuff there. We're very lucky to do what we do, and we have Brennan join us pretty much every Thursday and to hang out in the live chat. We always go live, and it's always a blast. And we're thankful because these are the kind of discussions we have too. They're deep, they're passionate, they're also informative, and they're also very reflective. And I don't know, I'm happy that we're not a show that's like, we're going to talk the news every week and then we're going to do this segment. And then we always had this authentic nature of like, this is how we approach it. This is going to be different. Most people don't cover Star Wars the way we do. And yeah, I think if you haven't joined us yet for an evening, please, by all means, any of your listeners, come hang out.
We pride ourselves on being undefinable.
Yes.
You know?
Yes,
so
I think that's a good word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, no, yeah, look.
Please go check out the Bombadcast. Do yourself a favor.
Favor.
All right, guys.
Please come hang out with us.
So glad to be part of this community with you guys.
Oh, we love you, man.
Same, my friend.
And
Love you,
I
Brennan.
cannot wait until Celebration 2027. We are going to party like it's
Here it comes.
1998. I was going to say, don't party like it's 1999. Well, that's the year that Phantom Menace came out. So.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
We're going to party. It's going to be great.
Y2K crazy.
Y2K crazy.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Guests Awaken with Scotty, Gerry, and myself. These 8 years have been such a privilege. And, well, here's to 8 more. My name is Brendan Marr, that noise you hear is later. Thank you for tuning in to Page Turners They Were Not in the Star Wars podcast. May the Force be with you.